Hey guys, and welcome to the show. We're excited to be here. It's been fun. So this is show number 002. Welcome to Ask Erik Hammond. I'm Erik Hammond, and I appreciate you guys being here. Again, this is a new show we started last week, and basically we're here to cover your questions, get things answered, and I want to make this a fantastic show for you guys because I know there's a ton of questions that most real estate agents either are afraid to ask or have asked that they haven't found the answers that they're looking for. Again, guys, welcome to the show. Erik Hammond here, and these are your questions. So the first one up, let me just see where we are here. The first one's by Stefan. Stefan's got a good question. So he said, I'd love to hear your opinion of eXp Realty. So if you've never heard of eXp Realty, it's been around for a couple years now. It's the one that's up and coming, it's growing. It's taking the world by surprise. It's something that I looked into a little while ago when I was phasing out of real estate full time. But basically what happens is they're a cloud-based brokerage, and the thing about it is that you save on your commission because there's no storefront, right? There's no location that you have to pay for, the brick and mortar building. And so it's all online, which is awesome. The resources are available, similar to the Keller Williams model and Century 21 and a lot of other great brokerages out there. They offer a ton of incredible training. So if you're, I guess this is my opinion of it, if you're a new agent and you're looking for training, I think you're gonna have to pay a little bit more to get that because you may not know what it is you're doing in real estate. You may say, look, I got my license, I know how to sell homes, but I don't know how to go find clients, I don't know how to fill out the contract, I don't know how to set up my webpage, all these kind of things. So that's the beauty of what a brand or a brokerage like eXp can provide, is that one-on-one training. And I know that it's all not the same cost, meaning that if I'm just there to sell houses and that's all I want, you're gonna pay a certain split. It's pretty low. I don't know the exact numbers because I know it's changed over time. But then the other side of it is if I want a coach, I want someone to hold my hand and bring me through the transaction, and I want someone to call when I get stuck, I want classes to go to and all that kind of stuff, you pay a little bit higher of a split. So if you don't need an office to go to, if you don't need physical interaction with people in your office, I think eXp makes for a great brand. It's a great brokerage in that element. And the nice thing about it is, whether you're on your iPad or your computer or wherever you are, you can take 10 minutes, an hour, or whatever, and download it and watch that content. Not yet. Okay, on to question number 2, which is from Joseph. It says, focus on real estate specific content or expand to lifestyle. I think the answer is both, honestly. And we're basically going to get into how this works out. So you're a person, you're a human, and you're also your own brand. We talked about that before, right? So I'm building out my Erik Hammond brand, and it's me and it's everything that I am. But I also run a marketing team, and I have a business, and I help real estate agents grow their brand online too. So I can't separate myself from who I am and what it is that I'm interested in. But on that same note, I think that people get kind of bored with just the business brand, right? Like just seeing what businesses do, just seeing how they function and who they speak to might not be that interesting to your clients. You're in the B to C, business to consumer way of speaking. I'm in the B to B, business to business, business being the real estate agent, and how I communicate. So you've got to understand your audience and what they're looking for. These homeowners are probably interested in getting to know you as a human being. You'd be surprised, but it's interesting how many real estate agents I know are actually really good friends with their clients. They go out to dinner with them, they hang out, they go to concerts, they, I don't know if traveling's in that option, but they get to know them really well. I have a few friends that we're helping with in their life right now, and they were friends first and clients second. And I think that you can build that relationship based on the hobbies and passions and interests that you have in life. That's how I got to know these friends. So when you're trying to create content in your own brand, think about who you are and what it is that you're doing. Okay, so that's question 2. Number 3. This is from Joan. Cool. Joan says, constantly competing with one agent. Oh, I can relate to that one. Can't seem to get the upper hand. How do I get more wins? So here's what I would suggest. Here's the other thought before I get into that. There's thousands of you out there in the same market that are doing the same thing, right? You're virtually, just dumbing it down as much as I can here. You're putting a sign in someone's yard if you can. You're listing their house on the MLS, and you're showing people the house so that you can get paid to have that transaction go. Really, that's real estate summed up in as basic as I can get. So when you break it down into that kind of basics, everyone who has a real estate license in your area who's selling houses, and I'm not talking about like commercial real estate and property managers and stuff, but everyone who's selling real estate in your area is virtually doing the same exact thing as you. The only difference probably is how much they charge or what other things that they're going to provide while doing that listing. So if you just said the basics is that I charge 3% to sell a house and maybe I'm willing to do it for 2.5% or something like that, really your only negotiation there is that you're doing it for cheaper and you're basing everything that you have to offer on costs. Let me flip that around and just say, what if I was willing to charge the same as everybody else, 3%, maybe even 4%, and I was willing to do way more than anybody else offered? Okay, so again, the bare minimum: stick the sign in the yard, fill out the paperwork, get it on the MLS, look at offers, show them to the homeowner. If you just said that's the basics, what else can I introduce into my value proposition? When I show up for a listing appointment, how am I going to separate myself from everybody else? This includes that one agent who might be copying everything that you do or that you're butting heads with or looks exactly like you and trying to do everything that you're doing. How do I separate myself from everybody else? Offer more. Okay, so maybe you partner with a stager. Number 2 is we take professional photos. I could simply whip out my iPhone and take pictures of your house. That's what most agents do. We actually have a professional photographer. We pay them thousands of dollars every single month to take pictures of the houses that we list. He's gonna come and do this for free because when you work with us, you get the best. But by doing these little things and just spending a little bit more money on the client, you're gonna win so many more transactions. It's not always about the money. It's not about what the homeowner is going to end up paying you at the end of the day. It's about the value they've perceived that you've given them. So if they feel like you're bringing in all these resources and this incredible team of talent that represents you and your team, and you're still charging what most real estate agents do, you're going to win because they're getting more value by working with you than by anybody else. So that's question number 3. Let's go to question number 4 by Ann. I'm glad we're getting some girls here. Last time I think it was all dudes. So cool. Okay. Best way to beat anxiety. Okay, now we're getting up in the head here. We're talking to some technical stuff. Now we're going to be getting up in the head. Okay, so best way to beat anxiety and where can I find some good affirmations? So if you're struggling Monday morning, today's Monday, and you're saying, you know what, I'm gonna have a hard time getting to work this week. I'm gonna have a hard time getting things moving and rolling, and Friday's a long ways away, and I gotta have this open house on Saturday and Sunday. Eric told me I need to get 40-50 people to that open house. Oh, it's so much stress, right? How do you get past the Mondays? It's all in the affirmations, and it's telling yourself that you can do it. And if you don't believe me in this whole affirmation thing, and if you're thinking, you know what, I've tried it, it didn't work, maybe you weren't doing it right. Maybe you didn't do it long enough. Maybe you tried it once and you're like, I said I'm amazing once and it didn't work. Tell yourself that today's gonna be the day. Remind yourself week after week, day after day, month after month, that you can do this. That you're the one that's gonna bring more value to your clients than anybody else. That you're the one that needs to sell their house for the most amount of money. Remind them that you're the one that they need to hire for the job of selling their house. Guys, I know that there's a lot of opportunity in this life, and I know that there's a lot going on in your heads. It's a scary place up there. So master your domain. Figure out how you're going to conquer these fears. Overcome the challenges of worrying about what other people think. And repeat it. That's the thing. Repetition. Repeat it. Day after day after day. If you've got to take a break every hour and go to the bathroom, look in the mirror and just remind yourself who you are, what you can accomplish in this life, and some of the incredible things that have come. Again, trading your expectations for appreciation. Appreciate the life that you've been given. Appreciate just being able to be here one more day. Guys, I appreciate you watching this show. It's been a lot of fun for me. Again, we're needing your questions. If you have a question, if you're stuck, if you're like, hey, what book should I read about this? How do I solve this problem? How do I get more exposure on Facebook? How do I start using Instagram? How do I bring back Snapchat? Whatever it is, we'd love to answer your questions. Basically, you can just send us a DM, basically go down to the bottom, send me a direct message. If you want to hit me up on my personal page, business page, wherever it is, we'll find it, get your questions submitted. If you're watching this video on YouTube, because I know we're going to upload it there, and we're also turning it into a podcast, just find us, Erik Hammond. You can check me out, send us your questions, get them answered. I'd love to bring you up on the show. As we grow, we're going to get more and more and more, so I'm excited to have you guys contribute. Again, remember, this is show number 2. We got a long ways to go. We're going to be doing this every Monday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific, live, but the replay will be available. So, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the show. We will see you next Monday. Until then, have a fantastic Monday, and go sell some real estate and be safe. Bye, guys.